Hey, just be real. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hey there. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Denise. How are you guys doing? Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing? Hey there, Queen of the South. How are you? How are you? All right, where am I at on here? I was trying to put a thumbnail on here, but I guess this is not going to work. Have to wait until I'm finished. Hey there, Carolyn. Hey, Miss Carolyn, how are you doing? Good to see you. Hey there. Good evening to you. Just be real. Haka, how are you doing? Happy tomorrow Thanksgiving. How are you guys? Mystique, how are you guys doing? Reggie, how are you doing? Good evening to you guys. Hey, how are you doing? How's everybody doing? Hello. Okay, there you guys go. Let's see. Sun Sunsaria? Suncaria? How are you doing? Quantum Love, how are you doing? The Power of She. I love that. Queen of the South, go ahead. Zelani, how are you doing? Okay, let me make sure I don't miss anybody. Adrian, how are you? Okay, the number one and only Princess Cha Cha. Go ahead, Princess Cha Cha. How are you doing? Hi, Diana. Hello. Hey, Sharonda. How are you doing? Hey, Abby. All right, Georgia in the house. Atlanta. You ready for Atlanta? Hey, you guys. How are you doing? Denise Subtle. There we go. Denise Subtle. Hey there. Hey, Sandra B. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Good. As you guys see, I am sitting in the car. My daughter has, you, you hung up on your sister? You know it. Now your sister like, I can't stand Carmen, huh? Hey, Kinkin. Chicago in the house. Okay. Well, it's good to see and hear you. Well, I can't hear you, but it's good to see your name. Thank you, Bruce. How are you doing? As you guys see, I'm sitting in the car again. My daughter has basketball practice. She's off tomorrow, Friday. Woo woo. So I went and did some last minute shopping. And I was sitting in the car and I was thinking about you guys because I know, not Christmas, but the Thanksgiving holiday is tomorrow. For some of you guys, you're already in your tomorrow, depending on where in the world you are. Hey, Miss Kathy. And so I just wanted to come on and talk to you for a little while. While I'm sitting in the car, excuse me, while I'm sitting in the car. So if you guys, question and answers like we did last time. So if you guys want to ask some questions, thank you, just real, I appreciate it. If you guys want to ask some questions, go ahead. Now, keep in mind, all of you guys are on one app. Hey, Miss Arlene, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you so much. That's right, you guys, you celebrate in October, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys want to ask some questions, you can. Just remember that. You know what? I see like the YouTube studio, and I can see Kay responding, but it's not showing up on my thread. So Kay, I can see you. Glenda, I can see you responding, but it's showing up on the top and not in my feed. So just to let you guys know, I have like YouTube, Instagram is not on, but YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everybody's connected on. Hey, Miss Sandra, everybody's connected on the Haps. I'm on Haps right now. So if you ask me a question, if it's a really long statement that you're making, I'm not going to be able to read it because it'll scroll too fast. So if you're on your side, whatever program you're on, it may look like it's just lingering there, but on my side, it's scrolling. So if you guys would like to ask some questions, you are welcome to ask some questions. Just ask the question. Don't tell me the whole story unless I ask you the whole story because I won't be able to read everything. So you guys ask me some questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So if you want to ask some questions, go ahead and ask some questions. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll be sitting in the car for another maybe 20 minutes. Let me look. Hold on. I'll be in the car for about another 20 or so minutes. So I'm gonna watch the time. So just be real. I'm gonna give you a break this evening. I'm gonna watch my own time, and then right before she comes out, I'll get back off. So if you guys would like to ask any questions, you are more than welcome. Miss Sharonda says okay, hold on. I got to get back in the corner again so I can see in the dark. So I'm gonna be in this corner on the screen so I can see what you guys are saying. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see. This might be too dark. Yeah, this might be too dark. Let's see. This might be okay. I can read that. Okay. She loves you too. I shared your video. Oh, thank you, Miss Sharonda. You tell Sissy Pooh I said thank you so much. I appreciate her too. How to avoid giving narcissist supply when you have children with a narcissist. And then will the narc go completely away after divorce? Okay, so that one would be no, especially if you have been a long-term supply. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go away right away unless they find some supply that would take their mind off of you momentarily. But in their mind, you will always be theirs. You are their forever supply. As opposed to, let's see here, how to avoid giving narcissist supply when you have children with a narcissist. Well, number one, when you have children with a narcissist, if you're still in the relationship or in the situationship, you can't avoid it. You're going to give that narcissist supply. They get supply. They get not supply. They get fuel. You get fuel. Giving the narcissist fuel, not supply. Um, it's a supply that gives fuel. So if you are not married to them anymore and they have visitation rights or they come to see the kids, you have to gray rock. Gray rock means that you have to take all emotions out of the situation and the conversation and make it a business transaction. When you're talking to your gynecologist or to your primary care physician, you're not in there hugging and being all emotional with them unless they give you bad news. But you know, so you have to look at it as a business transaction and you gray rock. If you have if you're actually anything that you do that's a reaction is what they're looking for, and they'll do things on purpose to have you react to them. So what you do is everything dealing with, if it's not dealing, if you go look at Judge Anthony Bompiani, hold on, he pronounced his name the other day, Bompiani, Bompiani. His name is Bompiani. There we go. If you watched, if you look at some of his reels on Instagram, he said the exact same thing. Judge Anthony Bompiani, and what he said is focus on what, because they're gonna ask a question, but they ask all these other questions that go along with it. So they're gonna add a whole bunch of stuff to a question. He said pick out the thing that applies only to the child and answer only the question or respond only to pick out only what applies to the child. That's it. Everything else is irrelevant and is irrelevant. And so what you do is you don't give them fuel, or you gray rock. Gray rock, if you, it doesn't matter what you say to a rock is not going to respond back to you or react to you whatsoever. So it takes practice not to react to them, because on the inside you really want to go off, you want to defend yourself. No, let me get you right. They'll say something and it's almost like they're fishing for you to react. And if they know you, they've been with you long enough, they know exactly your soft spots. They know how to trigger you. They know how to get you to say something. So what you practice is, no matter how much you want to say something, and it took me a long time to practice that, because it was a reaction. You know, it was almost like a knee-jerk reaction for me to say something. You know, first of all, let me get you straight, and let me I'll pick up the phone and call, let me get you straight. And I had to unpractice that. So there's some bad habits that you have in defending yourself with a narcissist that they know still exist. So you have to practice gray rocking. So when it comes to your children, unless it's dealing with the child, you, hello, how you doing, how life been going, how your job doing, that is irrelevant. I don't care how nice they seem, and well, you know, I try to be nice back. You don't have to be cordial back. You don't have to be ugly either, but all you do is you respond to only what pertains to the child. That's it. That's all you do, only to what pertains to the child. Gray rock. Let's see. Uh, Hold on, let me turn my camera so I can see. Yes, don't react, respond. Sometimes, like if they send you a text, wait 12 to 24 hours before you say something, because um, if you respond right away, you're not responding, you're reacting. And so usually if you give yourself a 12 to 24-hour rule, it'll give you time to run through your emotions. You walking through the house having a whole conversation with them. So by the time you text something back, you may text back a thumbs up, and that's it. All right, cool. You know, thumbs up, and that's it. So, and usually you can calm yourself back down. You calm yourself down 12 to 24 hours. Then you go back and you respond to them. Don't react, respond. How can we release subconsciously suppressed emotions in the physical body due to dissociation and loss of body sense of self? Girl, you need an appointment with me. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. You gonna have me thinking on overload. That's a lot. You gonna have to talk. That's a whole class. That's a whole class. Because what you're looking for, you know, and I understand you're looking for an answer, but what you're looking for is a class. That's a class. Miss Sandra, that's a class. I would actually have to do a class on that, because that right there is giving you an answer on healing. That's giving you an answer on methodologies and techniques to use. That's a class or that's an appointment. But that's a lot. That's a lot for me to talk about on the V. I would have to stop and think about answering that question. And I'm not, hey, Miss Shirley, and I'm not going to give you just a half answer on anything. You deserve a full answer. You can make an appointment with me, or I can go back and look at that later and do a whole class on that. But that's a lot. Let's see. Uh, Girl, that's a lot, Sandra. That's a whole class. Um, will they change for the new supply? Okay, Queen of South. I did a video. I did 1 or 2 videos. Okay, so that one I can give thought to for a minute because I did a video on that. Narcissists do not change their stripes. Narcissists are who they are. If you are in a situationship with a narcissist and they elevate it to a certain level with you, when they get into another situationship with another person, they're leaving you at the level, at the height of the abuse that they were giving you. And at that height, they're going into another situation at that height. There are some women, and I'm assuming, please correct me if I'm wrong, this was a man, and there are some women that are able to handle that height of abuse, and there are some women that cannot handle that height of abuse, and they'll blow their mind out. You know, they'll blow their mind out. And most people assume like they look like they're doing better, they look like they're enjoying themselves. I just did a video today, go back and look at that video today, and I talked about the fact that there is some new supply. They're not going to let you know. You know, it depends on how they got that individual. It depends on, you know, how they got together with that narcissist. And some of them are not going to let you know that they're miserable. What goes on behind closed, you have to think about what you went through and what went on behind closed doors. Okay, my phone, hold on, my watch keeps going off. But what went on behind closed doors is not what the public saw. So what they see, and especially a narcissist, they'll make sure that whatever the public sees is going to be 1,000 times better, and they'll make sure that they put it on a public forum so that you can see it. They'll make sure that you see how wonderful it is without you and how I'm making it without you. Another telltale sign is when the new supply, or you know, the new supply, or the narcissist has to make sure that you see them. I want you to know that I'm there. I want you to know that I'm the new supply. I want to make sure I show you how much better I'm doing. You have to see, with a narcissist, you have to think opposite than how a narcissist thinks. You have to think opposite than how a narcissist thinks. If they're really focused on making sure you see them, making sure you see how wonderful their life is, that new supply wants to make sure they rub it in your face, that's letting you know how bad they're really doing. Because a person that is really truly enjoying their life is not going to have to prove to you that they're enjoying their life. A person that is really happy in the here and now is not going to have to keep going back to show you or prove to you that they're doing so wonderful and so great. So when they leave you, that doesn't mean, you have to remember, look what you went through and look how many people did not know what you went through. And then you finally got rid of them, or they left you or whatever. They don't change for the new supply. The only thing that has changed is the playing field, but they're still playing football. All they did, they made, you know, you can have one person that's a nurse, you can have another person that's a lawyer, you can have another person that may be a cashier at a checkout counter. It's the same game, it's just a different environment. So that means that they have to learn the language of the new environment. So they may have to learn how to speak like a doctor, or learn how to speak like a judge, or learn how to speak like a lawyer, or, you know, they started off in the military. You know, our military environment has its own culture. So they start off in the military with its own culture. Then they may leave the military, connect with someone that may be in the they may be in the, I don't know, in the banking industry. and they dress a certain way. So they will dress a certain way and speak a certain way. So every time you see them, all they do is like shapeshift or metamorphose into whatever scenery or whatever playing field they're in. They just change the uniform. They don't change the game. You see? So most people struggle with the fact that, I believe that they're happier without me. They're happier with this other person. This other person is getting what I always wanted. They have the house that I want, the car that I want, the life that they want, the money that I want. I struggled and they're not struggling. Child, let me tell you something. Just like I said in the video today, there are people that are married and they're miserable and they're lonely, and they could care less. If you're concerned about the materialistic things, they'll blow your mind out. They'll drive you crazy. So no, they do not change for the new supply. They do not change. They're still the exact same person they were when they left you. The only difference is, is their playing field has changed. Their environment has changed. The scenery has changed. But you can take, that's like tearing down a whole housing project and then building brand new houses. The residue or the remnant of what was there is still there. So if it was gang infested before, you can tear down the scenery and rebuild these beautiful homes there, but you still got the gang activity around there. So ain't nothing changed. You got to change the mindset of the people. A narcissist never changes. A narcissist never changes. They change the playing field. They change the scenery. They don't change the game. They are exactly who they are. They have narcissistic personality disorder. It doesn't change. People change. They don't change. So they don't do better with a new supply. That new supply if think about this, if you were a fighter, but and they ain't never had a fighter, and you fought back, popped them in the mouth, drove a car over them, whatever you did, that next person may not be as hostile or aggressive as you are. You may have been abused and mentally abused, but you were the type to fight back. You get out there and cut and stab, but that next supply may not be a fighter like that. So imagine they're still playing the same game. They're still playing the same game with them. They're just not going to be aggressive or fighting like with you. They don't change. Narcissists are chameleons. They shapeshift into whoever they can to achieve their agendas. Exactly. They don't have a core personality. They pick up whatever personality they put. It's like Build-A-Bear. Whatever personality they like, they pick pieces and parts of that personality to build themselves, and they become everybody that they've ever been in contact with. And each that's why they admired you, or they wouldn't have gotten with you, because it was your personality, something about you that they wanted, and when they couldn't get it, then they dogged you out because they couldn't get it. But then they took pieces and parts of your language, how you conducted yourself, the things that you said, certain mannerisms. They took that and made it their own. And so everybody they get with, they take, it's like what was that movie about that big thing? Every 20 years he would come back and replenish himself. He would take people's eyes, and he would take people what was the name of that movie? I can't think of the name of the movie. But all they do are they come and get body parts. They get your mind, they get your reputation, they get your language, they get your persona. They take upon, it's almost like they take upon your personality, and then they just move on to somebody new and take upon their personality. So the pieces and parts of other people's personality that create them, but they're never really who they really are or present themselves to be. Let's see. My sister said thank you, and she now has a better understanding of what I'm going through, and other to be a better support. Oh, see, sometimes you just have to educate people. When you educate people, their eyes open up to like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this existed. Oh my gosh, I didn't understand. And a lot of times we blow off family assuming that you just don't understand, and sometimes they're willing to learn. So it is a blessing that your sister was willing to learn, and that you have a great support system there. That is awesome. That is really, tell her I commend her a lot. The new supply usually has it worse off than you did. Exactly, because they're leaving you in a worse condition than when you met them. They're leaving you in a worse condition than when you met them. If they were Jeepers Creepers, there you go. That's a movie. Jeepers Creepers, absolutely. Yes, I knew what kind and new supply he had by his cooking. See? Or sometimes, those of you that have had sexual experiences with narcissists, and they come and all of a sudden they're doing new stuff, you already know that they picked up something from someone else. you know, or their language, like certain things that they say that they've never said before, you know, they've already picked up something from someone else. You said, oh my, yes, they take pieces of whoever they've been with to create who they are now. Yup, yet those closest to them, like their husband, wife, or children, see who they really are when their mask falls. Absolutely, Dinah. Dina or Dinah, I'm sorry. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like a sci-fi movie. If you sometimes what happens is people keep looking at these narcissists like they're the average normal person. They look like the average person chronologically. They may be you know, a normal looking person. They may function in society as a normal person. They have a job like a normal person. So on the outside, the aesthetics and what you see looks perfectly normal. It's like back in the day, you hear some fool say, you know, when the HIV and AIDS pandemic hit, you know, people like, well, they looked healthy. They didn't look like they had anything. Well, what do they look like? People with HIV and AIDS look like the average person. I mean, you can't tell by the way a person looks. Well, they don't look like they would be infected. That's stupid. Well, they don't look like a narcissist. Well, they don't have to look like a narcissist. That's why they blend in and they're hidden in plain sight, you know, because it's on the internal. The internal. They are forever this little child in this grown person's body that would never grow up. Like it's like dogs. Dogs are forever toddlers, you know, but they're sweet animals and everything, but they're forever toddlers. And so a narcissist is forever young in their reactions, in their response, well, the reactions, the way that they think, but yet they're manipulative. And the more they manipulate, the better they get at the manipulation that they do. It's not that they're smart; they're manipulative. And people that are manipulative get more manipulative the more they manipulate and the better they are at manipulating. Make sense? Okay, y'all have to turn the camera so I can see. I have to put it in the dark to look and see what the letters are saying. Uh, my narcissist is mad because I put him on child support and left. Now he has someone and don't even want anything to do with me, my baby. That's a blessing. Child support is meant to support your child, you know, and that is the law, to support your child. And he can get mad all he wants to, but that may save your child from having to witness or go through trauma, vicarious trauma, by watching you be traumatized, or even you don't know what you're sparing that child from. So ladies and gentlemen, if that person does not want to be a parent, don't force them to be a parent. Well, I just want them to be in their life and I'm doing everything to stop it. Because an adult, a real man or a real woman, knows how to be a parent and will try to invest time being a parent. You don't force them to be a parent. Stop trying to make them be a parent. They don't want to be a parent. And you may be sparing your child from long life of issues and abuse and PTSD, some of the stuff that you went through as a child. And sometimes when you just leave it alone, you know, just leave it alone. Stop pursuing them. They want to have a relationship, let them pursue the relationship. Because by the time some of them do pursue the relationship, the kid's like, I don't have nothing to do with you. Cool. My ex found a sugar mama. Oh Lord, living in $1 million house and $100,000 car. This dude didn't even have a pot to piss in. He knows his game. Yup. And you never know. After a while, she may get tired of him too. You never know. Because they're usually ugly on the inside. They learn how to hide it better. Yup. Can you talk about once their mask falls off, when you see them as real ugly person that they are? He looks so little. Absolutely, absolutely. Do you guys remember the Wizard of Oz? And I'm gonna say it like this, Denise. You guys remember the Wizard of Oz? Remember the great. My apologies. Oh my gosh, my watch is really just. I'm about to throw this watch across the car, but um, you remember the Wizard of Oz? It was the great and mighty Oz, Oz, Oz. The great and mighty Oz, Oz. And then when they went in there and they pulled that big old whatever it was down, it was a little tiny dude back there. The great and mighty Oz, Oz. He didn't have no secret powers. He ain't do no magic. He wasn't a wizard. Nothing. That's how a narcissist is. And from time to time, that mask will fall off and you see who they really are. They are, if they have narcissistic personality disorder, everything that they do is opposite than what they really are. They'll they'll make themselves bigger than life. They have this, you know, what is it, that grandiosity, you know, they're the most beautiful person in the world, they're the smartest person in the world. You know, I have all these women or all these men that chase behind me, and I'm all into the somatics. I'm all into my body, the cerebral. I am so smart that, you know, that it just takes someone just as equal and smart as me, you know. So I have to be with the people that are at my level, because you are not at my level. And everything that they're saying is totally opposite of what they really feel. They feel less than. They feel very vulnerable. They're very sensitive when it comes to criticism. They're very sensitive when it comes to you. They have a very big ego because of the fact that they have a very low self-esteem. So everything they do, they overcompensate their shortcomings. So if you really want to know what a narcissist is like, look at all the things they make so huge. You know, those are the things where they lack in. Those are the things that they're overcompensating in. I'm so smart. I'm smarter than you. Because of the fact that you don't feel smarter than the average person, you feel less than. So you're going to try to make yourself look bigger than the average person because because that's not how you feel. That's not how they feel. Everything that a narcissist says, just look at. If they brag about their sexual escapades and I'm all this and I'm that, that's where they have a low self-esteem at. That's what they're struggling at. It doesn't matter whether you actually have a great experience with them or not. It doesn't even matter. You know, they may have been a good sexual experience, or maybe not a good sexual experience. But you know, even if they're a good sexual experience, that's where they have trouble at. That's where they have a low self-esteem at. That's where they struggle at. It doesn't matter whether it was good or not. That's where they struggle at. So everything that they make bigger than life, those are all the areas that they have vulnerabilities in. So see, a lot of times we make them bigger than what they really are, and really they're not. They're just evil. They're just manipulative. They're just they're retaliatory, they're into retaliation. There we go. They're fake people, absolutely. They tell on them, absolutely. If you listen long enough, they will tell on themselves. All you have to do is listen more, talk less, and they will tell on themselves. Listen more, talk less, and they'll tell you everything that you want to know. Listen more, talk less, and they'll tell you everything that you want to know about them. Anything you want to know, they'll tell it. They can't help themselves. You can see their vulnerabilities and insecurities when their mask lift. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Empty vessels are the loudest. Come on, Sandra, say it again. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yep. I hate when they get all loud and try to take over conversations when even you may not be even talking to them. Absolutely, they're gonna make sure they're seen. They're going to make sure that they are seen because they always felt like they weren't seen. So a person that feels like they've never ever been seen, they're gonna make themselves seen. They're gonna be the loudest. They're gonna be the one that gets all the attention. Listen in silent, same letters. Absolutely. See, absolutely. I believe because I stood on telling him stop disrespecting me, he got not he got not going to not going to treat me any kind of way. He went silent with me without warning, and I have no idea why. Because he was trying to hurt you. He knows that being silent with you is probably going to hurt you. Whatever they think is going to hurt you is exactly what they're going to do to gain control again. Boundaries are for you, not for them. Putting up boundaries will cause people without boundaries to retaliate against you. But boundaries are for you, not for them. Like I said, I think last week I said, hey, when you tell somebody you're not going to keep talking to me any kind of way, you're not going to keep talking to me, what are you going to do? You can't make them stop talking to you any kind of way. You can't, I'm tired of you disrespecting me. You can't do anything about a person disrespecting you. They're going to keep doing it. But what you do have is control of yourself. And you can't let people make you feel guilty about your decision. So when you tell people, first of all, you're not going to keep talking to me crazy. You're not going to keep talking to me any kind of way. Well, what you're going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking to you. So I'll talk to you never again. So it is your responsibility to keep boundaries up for yourself. They're not going to, and that's people in general. You can't make anybody stop doing what they're doing. So what you do is you have the right to implement your boundaries and say, you know what, you're not going to keep talking to me any kind of way. You're not going to disrespect me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop having a conversation with you altogether. Click, and that's it. Those are your boundaries. Hmm. He said, I love you, sister. You're so real and on point. Thank you, Mr. Steve. I appreciate you. Thank you, King. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. There are lots of false prophecies, people fighting to prove their own self-value. See, What if they're really smart and work as a successful doctor? Some of them are. Some of them are. Some of them are. You know, just because they're narcissists doesn't mean some of them are very intellectual, and some of them, those are cerebrals. Cerebrals are, you know, very intellectual, and some of them are very smart, but they're very manipulative on top of that. There's one thing to be really smart, but there's another thing to be wise. Yep. Very vindictive and intentional, absolutely. Especially when he was drunk, which is every day his mask came off. See? Ending it will cause them to stalk you. Oh yeah, sometimes absolutely. Yeah, because how dare you? How dare you end this? I'm the one that's in control and tells you when I'm gonna end this. You don't have control to tell me when to end this. And sometimes they'll get back with you just to break up with you. Smart in all the wrong ways. There you go. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. I appreciate you. Thank you. You spoke about that when you said some are counselors. Yeah, yeah. Some narcissists are counselors. Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a narcissist instructor when I was going through my master's program. That's the first time I found out that I actually was like smart, like I had academic, you know, intelligence. And I would make, like in my master's program, I made all A's and B's. So I had like a 3.6 grade point average. And then in my doctor's, I had a 3.8. So that was the first time that I discovered that I really was smart. You know, I always thought I was dumb growing up. I didn't think I was academically smart. I think in my, let me see, in my, because in my associate's degree, I think I got like a 3.5. Then in my bachelor's, I got like a 3 point, I think it's like a 3.5. And then in my bachelor's, I got a 3.5. And then in my master's, I got like a 3.6. And in my doctor's, I got a 3.8. That's when I began to realize I wasn't dumb, you know. And so classes came to me very easy because I was very interested in what I was doing. I remember I had this one instructor. She was a brand new instructor. She had been a counselor for a while, and she came in. And normally with me, if I knew like, you know, most of the time I didn't have to put in extra effort, you know, because I really enjoyed it, so it came easy to me. And then I realized in her class, I'm like, dang, she really doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know how to teach. So I'm gonna have to put an extra effort in to really study this material to get it. And it didn't matter how much I studied it. I failed everything. A majority of the class failed. And so I began to realize like has nothing to do with me. This is her. She don't know how to teach. So I didn't know she was a narcissist at the time. I know now. And then what she did, they have the evaluations, you know, of the new professors or the new teachers. They do like an evaluation, you know, all students do an evaluation. So I happened to be one, me, and it was me, a friend of mine, and it was four of us. And out of four of us, three of us were African American, one of us were German. Well, I'm German African American, but so three of us were African American, one was German. So kind of even it out. But all four of us were failing. And so we all, you know, we were kind of bold. And I noticed that as long as you catered to her and joked and laughed with her, your grades were good. I was one that I started watching her. And so I wouldn't say much. I would just kind of stare at her. She would always give me compliments and, oh, you're so pretty. And, oh, you're so, and I would just look at her. And I was like, I know this chick don't like me. And so we did these reviews. And in the reviews, I put in there, I said, she does not know how to instruct. You know, I understand that she's a new instructor, but I think she needs some assistance because she doesn't know how to instruct. She doesn't know how to give the material. And every time she gives the material, if she doesn't like your answer, she'll tell you you didn't study. So it was always an excuse, always an excuse. And so what happened is while we were doing that, one of the administrators was standing outside. She walked outside and was talking to the administrator and said, I cannot believe that they're in the master's program. All of them are dumb. I was like, this heifer. I said, okay. You know, I didn't cuss at the time. And I said, okay, okay. So what she did, what she wasn't supposed to, they, I guess, gave her the reviews, let her know, you know, what was said. So what she did is she set up in the class for each one of us to meet with her so she can see how we talked, so she can figure out who wrote what on the surveys. She wanted to know how we talked and who wrote what. She wanted to know who said it. And I knew she was doing it, but I was in the military. I was bold. I was a little thug, you know. And so and I was a leader at the time. I had soldiers. I didn't have time to play with her. So we sat down, and she talked to each person. Most people were a little nervous and everything. We sat down. She says, "So, tell me, why do you think that you're failing? Why do you think that you're failing? What is going on?" I said, "No." I said, "What you're trying to figure out is who wrote what on the surveys." I said, "So I'm gonna tell you." I said, "Who you're looking for is me, and I don't know who else wrote anything." I said, "But I was the one who said that you're not able to instruct." I said, "I don't understand anything you're teaching. You're new." And you can look on her face like, "How dare you insult me?" I said, "So that's what you're looking for. And so I'm just going to go ahead and speak up and tell you it was me who said this, if this is what you're looking for." From that point forward, she had a real hard time with me in class. She was really ugly and she failed me. So when the class was over, it was four of us, all four of us that actually spoke up for ourselves. She failed all four of us. The only thing that saved her, was that only three of us were African American and the other girl was German. So we had to write these letters, right? We had to write these letters because I'm using tuition assistance through the military. You can't fail classes like that. So I started writing letters to the school. What saved me is that I was military, and we had military liaisons in there that looked out for the benefit of the students, not the teachers, the students. And so when I went and talked to the counselor, wrote a letter to the school, let them know that this woman does not know how to teach. And these people right here failed. And majority of the people that failed were all the minority students in the class. Every single minority student, except for one, all the minority students in the class failed. And so as I was waiting for a response, I remember going down to the administrative office to go pick up a schedule for the next class to see, whether I have to repeat this class, what we're going to do. And she was standing behind the counter, and I saw the back of her head, and I was hot. When I tell you I was hot, but I was in uniform, I was a senior leader. I didn't have time, and she turned around and looked at me. She was like, "Hello, Carmen." And I was like, "Hello, Miss So-and-so." She says, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great. How are you doing?" She says, "I'm fine," but she was being very antagonistic. And in my mind, I was looking at her. I said, "If I have anything to do with it, you will not be here another semester." So as we were working through all that, the school granted us, they erased the F. They gave us opportunity. I had just had a miscarriage. And so they had granted us, the opportunity, sorry, y'all, to go back to the class with a different instructor. And by then I had a miscarriage. So, I was all depressed, and, I wasn't doing too well at that particular time. So I passed. I think all my grades were A's and B's. I think I passed that class with a C. And that was the first time I'd ever had a C. And the thing that helped me is that I had to show them. I said, if you look at the history of all my classes are A's and B's. I shouldn't have had a C in this class. And so come to find out, she put on academic probation herself. She had to be supervised, and eventually she was let go because she did the same thing with the next class. So years later, come to find out, years later, I was like, "Dang, what was this lady's name?" I went to look up her license. Do y'all know that this lady was sleeping with her clients, and she had a complaint? And I don't know what happened, but she was kicked out of the school. She couldn't instruct anymore. And then it dawned on me, this nut was a narcissist. And if you did not play into stroking her ego, and us four were just, well, three of us out of the four, we were just those type that we don't play with you. We don't care. We were all alike. All of us were alike. We're like, we don't play with you. We're not sucking up to you. And my friend, she's a straight A student, so she was even more, oh my God, I never failed a class before. She was a 4.0 student. And so what ended up happening is we were allowed to go back. We finished it. I did make a C, but it didn't do anything to my grade. I still had like a 3.6 grade point average when I graduated. But she was a narcissist, and she was in the school. She was a counselor sleeping with clients. And there was a complaint against her life. If I could think of her name, I wouldn't give it to you guys over here because that would be inappropriate. If I could think of her name, I would go look it up again. I know the letter starts with, but I can't think of her name. But I went and looked, but she had dings on her license. She was sleeping with clients. So I knew this woman wasn't right. And now hindsight is 2020, and I realized, dang, you know, this lady was a narcissist. And her whole thing is I did not give her the attention she wanted. And because we did not give her the attention she wanted, she particularly, targeted us and failed all four of us. I was like, but that was the dumbest thing you could have done, because all three of us, three out of four of us, were all straight A business people, military, business. Two of us were military, but all of us were business people. We were the type that we were strategic thinkers. So you came up against strategic thinkers, and she was an idiot. I hate to say it, but she was an idiot. She really was. And she really called us idiots. She called us stupid. And when I said, you know what? I said, I'm about to show you who's the idiot because you're not going to be here very long. I didn't say it to her face, but I just looked at her. I said, no problem. I said, you playing with the right one. I said, no problem. And after that last class, she was let go. She was not allowed to instruct anymore. So the moral of the story is that they're everywhere. Instructors, counselors, professors, judges, lawyers, police officers, anything that you can think of, coaches, pastors, leaders, community leaders, they're everywhere. And sometimes you have come across narcissists and you really didn't think about it until something has happened. Now hindsight is 2020. Now you look back like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this truly was a narcissist. Yep. Intuition. Yep. Gut. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. 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 I believe it. Many wolves in sheep clothing. They're always judgmental and it's worse. Yeah. And especially if they know that you're a type of person that you're a go-getter, you're very intelligent, you may be good in class, you may even be popular. I was the jokester. I was always gonna joke a lot. I'm the type of person to come in the classroom and I talk to everybody. If you're really quiet, I come over there and mess with you anymore. Hey, how you doing? And laughing and joking. I'm just that type of person. I like to see people smile. I don't like to be we're in a quiet environment and everything, but I don't like for people to be uncomfortable because, I was a DJ at one time. I was a hostess at one time. So everything that I did, public speaker, everything that I did, I always try to encourage people. So it doesn't matter. I come in the classroom and I joke and I'll mess with the teacher. Hey, Miss So-and-so, how you doing? I brought you an apple, girl. So I just mess with people like that. That's just me. And I think she didn't like that. And what happened was I shut down. I started staring at her. I would stare at her not because I was staring at her and we were, going to, wit after wit. No, I was staring at her. I was watching her because I was trying to figure her out. And she figured out I was trying to figure her out. But at the end, I got the class back. I completed it. There was no competition. She was going to try to stop us from getting our license, stop us from finishing our master's program. That's crazy. What kind of teacher is in there to try to purposely? And she did this is not, and then she did it with the next class. That's when she was fired. That's a shame. I saw your video there. I wanted to look up the man on YouTube. He in the Marcus Monroe. You'll find him on Instagram. Marcus Monroe. His name is Pastor Marcus Monroe, but I think he's under Marcus Monroe. It's my big brother. I took the attention off of her. I did. I didn't do it on purpose, but I did. You know, and it, I paid attention to her in class. I answered the question stuff until I realized she was being manipulative. Once I realized she was manipulating, I shut down and started paying attention to her. And I got quiet. I wouldn't answer. I really wouldn't laugh with her. I would just look at her, pay attention to her. In my master's program, I had a professor like that. I had to turn her in. I'm trying to get mine, not be, yeah, exactly. I'm not here to be your friend, right? I'm not here to like you. Just teach the class and let's move on. I don't have to like you. That explains a lot about my life. I used it, let me see, I used it was my looks or me being outspoken it's what the God in me. Darkness and evil hates goodness and light. I got what you were saying. Yes, ma'am. Joe, I got what you were trying to say. All about control. Yep. Yep. The narcissist told me that he's put a restraining order out on me and he don't want to speak to me or call him. He's so mad that I went and put him on child support. So, and oh well, be mad then. It don't even matter. Go ahead. Yep. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. The four hidden dynasties: religion, political, educational, financial, and they try to dominate it too. They try to dominate it. Yep. Well, hey, you guys. My little harvest is about to walk out, and like I said, she sees me on the camera. Oh my gosh, are you on the camera? So she doesn't see mom as an influencer. She sees mom as mom. Oh my gosh, mom. Oh my gosh. So she's about to come out. So I'm going to call it an evening. I thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow. I'll see how the environment is. I'll see how everybody is, and try to come back and get on. I'm trying to get the family. This tribe is going to be at my house tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to get them on so you guys can talk to them. We can sit around and maybe have a girl talk or something like that. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check out the atmosphere. I'm gonna see how everything's going. I'm gonna try to get everybody at the table so we can just talk and laugh on the camera with you guys, so that you can enjoy. Just so you can enjoy yourself for the holidays. For some of you guys, you guys have done the holidays by yourself already. Some of you have already done the holidays by yourself. For some of you, this is the first time doing holidays by yourself. And I want you to know that we're here for you. Now, true enough, I can't get on camera all the time and check on you and say, hey, I want to come and talk to you. So yes, sometimes you're going to be left to your own mind. But you go back and listen to some of these videos, just to keep yourself, talk to me through the videos. You can laugh and ha ha, because I laugh at my own self, child. I made my own self laugh. You ain't got to laugh at my jokes. I laugh at my jokes, and most people start laughing at me, laughing at my own jokes. Matter of fact, my kids just shake their head because I start laughing at my own joke. You ain't got to laugh. I laugh at myself. So I know for some of you guys, this is going to be hard. And some of you guys, this is going to be your first holidays, without being with that narcissist. It's not the fact that you want to be with the narcissist. It's the concept, the family concept, the holidays, the family. And some of you guys, I'm all alone. I don't have anybody. But don't worry, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. You're gonna be at work, okay? But that's why we're here. And I'm gonna try to come back. I'm gonna try to come back. I'm not gonna promise you guys. I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow. I'm gonna see how the atmosphere is. I'm gonna see how everybody's doing. Because after people eat, people like to take a nap right there on the couch. We were gonna watch some movies, but we like to take a nap, and so we might be taking a nap. We don't pull our wigs off or something like that. We may not be able to get on camera. Stomach full, sleepy, So, but I'm gonna try to come tomorrow. So you guys look, and I'm gonna try to come tomorrow. Okay. If not, I want you guys to know that you all are loved. You guys are loved. You are cared for. We care about you. Me, Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, Telsha Edenberg, that's the T on NPD and relationships, and we work together as a team, and we care about you. And when we have time to talk, we usually talk about things about the narcissist. We talk about videos and what we want to do, and people make mistakes. We're not perfect people. You meet us, you find out we're not perfect people. We don't do videos right all the time. Sometimes we may mess up and have to come back and correct something that we said, but we're human just like anybody else. But we're genuine. We're not narcissists, and we're genuine people that have been through some trauma our own selves. And we're coming back. We want to make sure that you guys are okay. We want to make sure that you're okay, especially during the holidays. Because some of you guys are going to experience the holidays by yourself for the first time. But I want you to know I've been there too. And it was really sad, but I kept thinking, I said, why is it sad? Because the holidays were always ruined by that nut. I hated being around him. I hated, but it's the concept, it's the principle. Family, family. But you know what? I have a different family. I have a tribe that's a family. And we are family. And we're family. We're family. And I want you guys to know that you are loved. We think about you guys all the time. We talk about you guys, not in a negative way. We talk about you guys and what we should do, what we should be doing. And maybe so I'm always, even with me, I'm always thinking of what do I want to do next? I'm still working on my website, y'all, because I'm also going to have a subscription page where I'm going to start calling different states to talk to different people within the domestic violence agencies, even in maybe like some legal firms and stuff, and start interviewing them so that you can get information from them. You know, but I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I got to go ahead and excuse me. Um, I got to wait for her to come out the door. She's getting ready to come out the door, and she's gonna plop in the car and she's gonna be sitting right behind me. I told her I am not her chauffeur, and she plopped right behind me, so you'll see her right in the camera. And she don't like to be in camera, but I appreciate you guys. Okay, so I'm going to get off. Listen, if you need coaching, contact me. My book fills up very very fast, and I try to hold slots from time to time for people that want coaching. And sometimes if you call, or I mean, if you email me, sometimes I have to wait so far out to put you in. And so I tell you guys, if you want to make an appointment, just contact me. I'm a nominal fee. I'm not that expensive. If you want to do a coaching session with me, email me and I will send you my fees. And those of you that need therapy, if you're in the state of Washington, I can provide you with therapy. If you're outside the state of Washington, I highly recommend, and Miss Arlene will tell you, I highly recommend betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. They'll give you a 10% discount. If you're having financial issues, you let them know and they will work with you. But it's a nominal fee. They actually charge less than I charge for therapy in my private practice. So if you don't have insurance, the amount that I charge on an hourly basis is probably about 75% less than what I charge. And it's a nominal fee. It is a great fee for therapists that know what they're talking about when it comes to narcissist abuse. And don't just rush them and, do you understand narcissist? Ask them questions like, have you ever heard of that? Do you understand PTSD? Do you understand depression? No problem with rumination. Give them the symptoms. They can work with it. And see, Miss Arlene says she highly recommends them. And yes, I do receive, it is sponsored, so I do receive funding from them. It is sponsored, but I'm a mental health counselor. I'm a therapist myself. I advocate for the people that work in my field, and I think that most people need therapy before they get coaching. I'm an advocate for therapy. I do therapy. I see how powerful therapy is. I'm a therapist. Why would I talk about my own in a negative way? I'm a therapist, and it's very, very effective when you have been traumatized. And so, listen, I am. I know, don't get busted, my girl, right? Because she will walk right to the car, open the door, look in, and you'll hear her say, "Oh my gosh, are you on camera?" And then close the door, and then, "Oh my gosh, mom." So then I have to turn the camera around and she said, "Don't do that." So she doesn't like to be on camera. So, but hey, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And just know that Arlene said the prices are great. See? But you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And yes, if you guys would like to give, you can go. My Cash App and my PayPal has been listed. My Cash App is $ is PHCSLLC. It's Cash App PHCSLLC. You can Cash App me. If somebody, and that's anybody. That's anybody that has done something and is helping you, because you're getting information that normally you'll get in master classes. And if you want to give to them, help them, show your appreciation, say thank you. I do it too. I make sure that I bless people, when they give information, because this type of information you'll get in master classes. You're not going to get just in regular videos. There are a lot of videos you go look at. They're not in depth like this because they know they're losing money by doing this. Trust me, this right here, you'll lose money from doing this. But I do it out of the heart. Yes, I do make money off of classes because of the fact that I'm a professional. This is a business. But the stuff that you guys get on YouTube, come on, y'all getting it for free. So if people are blessing you, if people are really speaking into your situation and you are recovering from this, don't be afraid to give them a little something just to show your appreciation. I do it too. So I'm not a hypocrite. I do the exact same thing. So I appreciate all of you guys. You guys have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. My sister said, "Do you do classes on support?" See? Thank you. Tell her I said, "Thank you, girl." But I appreciate it. 500 videos for free. And listen, I'll be in Atlanta 2022 in July. It's the end of July. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. I already have the links up to overcomingnarcissist.ticketleap.com and go register. You go, VIP is open right now. General registration and online, general registration and Zoom registration is not open yet because I have to meet with my team first. But VIP is open for registration. I highly recommend go ahead and get it because once it fills up, I'm done. I'm not opening it back up. So you guys will not be having no luxury limo rides to no dinner. You won't know where we're dining this year because this is going to be reserved just for VIP and the group that's going to be with me. Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, is going to be there. Miss Bridget Griffin, Marcus Monroe, me, and then some other guests that will be there that you may know will be there. And you will have VIP dinner with them in style with luxury. It was beautiful last year, and it was an intimate group. And so this, you'll have an opportunity to be with people, book signing, pictures. We had a great time. We really did. And so register now while you can. Also, when you go to Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, ticketleap.com, you'll also find I have a class coming up in another Zoom class coming up in December. I did this during the conference, but I'm adding extra stuff in there that I did not add in there during the conference. And it is different types of manipulators, why they manipulate and how they manipulate, so you can spot it, you can pick it up. So some of you guys that have keep getting caught up in these relationships, this is all the process of the trauma bonding series that I'm doing. But go register. It's $99 and it's a 2-hour course. But I'm telling you guys, it was great during the conference. I'm giving you extra this time doing this because I can slow it down because I have 2 hours to talk about one topic. And so it is manipulators, different types of manipulators, how they manipulate and why they manipulate. So you'll be able to pick up on, I mean, just the average person. Sometimes people manipulate, don't even realize they're manipulating, but you'll be able to pick up on it and put up your boundaries to prevent it from happening. You'll be able to pick up on it where you can spot. It doesn't matter whether you know they're a narcissist or not, but you'll be able to pick up if someone is playing a game with you or someone is manipulating, and then you put your Wonder Woman shield up and get them off of you. So I appreciate, thank you so much. Said tithes come in different form, be a blessing to be blessed. Oh, thank you, Miss Tiffany. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But if you belong to a church, tithes do not come to me. Tithes go to your church. Tithes go to the people that labor for you. Just like my pastor tells us all the time, you know, if you belong to a church, those tithes go to your pastor because your pastor is who is actually laboring for you. If you're not with a church, you know, you can always tithe to my pastor. You know, go to the church, tithe to the pastor. What you give me would be a gift or an offer, what you would call an offering or a gift. But you know, you just, all you have to do is sometimes you bless people for doing something. You know, you bless people. That's a tip. You give them a tip. You know, bless them. Say thank you because they don't. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. I can make some. Trust you me. I can make some master classes out of this. I can charge about $5.99 for an hour-long master class or more. $19.97 for a master class. And I would have. I promise you. I'm telling you right now. I sat in and I did a class with a very popular coach, and I was going to set it up, and the audience, the level of audience, the level of people that I would have been catering to are people that don't mind spending thousands of dollars to get this information. And I had to sit for a minute and think, and I said, you know, I don't want to put myself in a position where some of you won't be able to get this information. And so I backed out of it until I can come up with my own way of doing certain things as I'm developing myself and I'm developing my brand and I'm developing this part of my business. And so, believe you me, if I wanted to, I could, you know, not a problem. But, you know, so that's why I say, don't feel bad about, you know, give them a tip, send them something, say thank you. It doesn't have to be me. Whoever it is that has done the most in your life, helping you out of this situation with these narcissists. And I appreciate you guys. I truly do. Because some of you guys, you have no idea. Some of you guys just truly bless me when I need to be blessed at that time. And it helps me out. That's how I got my camera. You know, I had to get my camera, get a better quality camera, because this camera is the camera that I'm going to need for classes, for broadcasting, for conferences. And you guys really helped me out. And I truly appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. When it came to the laptop, my laptop burnt out during the pandemic. I think right before the pandemic. You guys helped me. You really did. I was blessed, and you know, I was able to get the laptop. And so I appreciate you guys. I really do. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you so, so, so much. Yeah, this particular webinar is 2 hours. So I'm only doing one webinar, which is in December. It's on a Friday. It's posted on it is posted on overcoming narcissist abuse.ticketleap.com, and you'll have the VIP and the next upcoming two classes that I'm going to be doing. One in December, one in January. Sign up for it. Y'all go ahead and sign up for it. Get yourself in there so you guys are ready. And then when it's time, I'm going to send you all the information so that we can log on. The people that went said that they were glad that they invested in it. It was $54.99. It was no big deal. $54.99. Come on. That could be a $599 class, especially this one that I'm getting ready to do. So you guys are getting it at a relatively inexpensive rate. You come on in there. Everything is not free. You know, we done did our wigs, our eyelashes, our eyebrows. You know, we go get our hair done. We buy clothes. Some people are sneakerheads. You know, so if you're willing to spend that money on aesthetically looking good, you want to spend some money on making yourself. Some of you guys have been traumatized all your life. I'm here to help you. I got the answer for you. If I ain't got it, Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper got it. Telsha with the T got it. Dr. Les Carter got it. You know, you go look on there. There's some quality. Dr. Romani has it. You know, you guys go look and then bless them. You know, say thank you. That's it. Well, y'all, I know I'm through chit chatting. I keep saying that, but she hasn't come out the door yet. As soon as she come out, I'm like, okay, y'all, I'm gone. You know, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so, so, so much. Yes, invest in your mental health. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a beautiful evening. Rest well. I'm going to clean up and get some things done before my guests come tomorrow. I appreciate all of you guys. I love coming and talking to you guys. You guys always make me think. And don't think that I don't recall the question I was asked, that long uh, um, question that I need to go hire a statistician for and write a thesis and another dissertation. I didn't forget it. I'm going to go back and look at it, and I may do a class on that because that would be a good class. I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you. Love you, London. Thank you so much. Oh, here they come. Oh, gotta go. So you guys go be great. You guys have a wonderful evening, okay? Love you guys.